Beware. Beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
On the day I was born, the nurses all gathered round.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, and it's going to get worse today. People, stick around, because these rotten bastards, they got something coming from Bob, the felon, the friendly felon Romanik. America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud. You hear me, you idiots out there that don't believe in the First Amendment? Very proud to be the Patriot. Hey, people, turn your radios off today, because you heard the disclaimer. If you're offended by religious situations, political situations, if you're offended by me breathing, turn off the radio today, because I'm coming after these rotten, ignorant, no-good son of a bitches. I'm going to start calling myself, because that's the only thing they bring up. That's the only thing they got. Felon. I'm going to be the friendly. If I'm going to be a felon, and I made a mistake 18 years ago, I'm going to be the friendly felon. I'm going to be the friendly felon. But, guys, I am just so tired of these rotten bastards, these hypocritical, no-good cockroach son of a bitches. And I think you good people are, too. You don't have to like me, but please listen to me. And don't believe me. Listen to me. Research what I say, and then you'll believe me. These no-good son of a bitches have given us the old okey-fadoke for the last 40, 50 years. They're going to talk, and we're going to bring it up. They're going to talk about Bob Romanik, what I did 18 years ago, made a mistake 18 years ago. What have these rotten bastards done for the last 18 years? They haven't done nothing. They can't defend themselves. They've got nothing. Nothing to defend, people. Don't let, and you know what? I'm running for state rep, and I have to tell you this. I'm probably the second worst candidate running for state rep. My opponent is the first. I'm not perfect. Hell, if there'd have been a good candidate out there, I wouldn't have ran. They couldn't get anybody to run. And I'm not perfect, but I'll tell you what, I'll fight for the people of 114th Legislative District. Not going to be a bobblehead for Rauner. Not going to be a bobblehead for Madigan. Like my opponent. She'll go up there and whatever Madigan will say, LaToya Greenwood, we want you to make a motion that we're killing you tomorrow. Oh, yeah, okay, yes, sir, I'll make that motion. These bobblehead son of a bitches. And she's no more than a plantation Negro. She's up here stepping and fetching for Kern and Sprague. Hey, Kern, Sprague, Bear Civic, the Civil War's over. Slavery's gone. You guys are the last bastion for slavery. You've got the proud black community in East St. Louis still in slavery. I want to give them a fishing pole so they can fish and be dependent on themselves, not dependent on us. You guys want to give them a fish today, so they got to come back and step and fetch to get a fish tomorrow, and then step and fetch to get a fish the next day. People, I'm tired of this crap. They say, Romanik, you're running for office. You got to slow down. I ain't slowing crap. I'm going to speed up because I do not give a damn. I'm tired of these rotten, no-count, good-for-nothing, lousy son of a bitch and hypocritical cockroaches. And at some point, I'm going to have to apologize to the cockroaches because they're not as bad as these rotten son of a bitches. And if you think I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm just tired, people. let's take care of our housekeeping, and then we're going crazy. A little bit later, on her way in, hopefully she can make it in. She's driving from Southern Illinois. A lovely lady, Cherie Langenstein. She's running for state senate as a Republican in the 58th Senatorial District. She's coming in to be transparent. She's not coming in here to endorse Bob Romanik, to endorse anything I say, to endorse any of my actions. She's coming in here to be transparent to the people of the 58th Senatorial District. She'll probably disavow everything I say, and that's her right as an American. But I'll be damned. She has the right to say what she wants, as I have the right to say what I want. And if you people disagree, and my rights are taken away, and Cherie Langenstein's rights are taken away, whether we agree or not with each other, your rights are going next. You've heard me 1,000 times. I offer these guys $10,000 to come on and debate me. Why the hell do I have to give my money that I've worked hard to make? Why do I have to give my money to the people that I pay to answer to me, to these politicians? You know why? Because they have nothing to defend. They hide behind that cloak of they're the county board chairman. They're God Sprague. They're little pieces of crap, people. We're going to let them continue. We're going to let them continue to okey-fadoke us, to give us their old song and dance. No, we're not. 2016 November. It's going to be the perfect storm because the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, we're going to unite Democrats, Republicans, independents, men, women, black and white, to stop this culture of corruption. We don't have to be on the same page about everything. We can have philosophical differences about the economy, about war. We have one thing in common, people: the culture of corruption. The St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee. I didn't know that the mobsters had neat names like that, but I guess they do. I guess they do. To me, I call it the St. Clair County Mafia. And then I'd have to apologize to the Mafia, because they're not as bad. At least the Mafia people, you know what you got. You know you got a bunch of thugs, a bunch of killers, a bunch of thieves. This St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption, Sprague, Kern, red on the noodle like a pecker on the poodle. And yes, I said that about the chief judge, that no-good, rotten son of a bitch who's trying to circumvent our great state constitution, the same constitution that son of a bitch puts his hands on and swears to uphold. These bastards, it's do as I say, not as I do. Hell, if we did as they did, we'd all be in jail. But it's awful funny. Them some bitches ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. Let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping because I'm going crazy. People, please listen to me. It's going to get crazy today. So don't call up and say, you shouldn't. This is America. If you don't like what I say, go over there and dig up the graves at Jefferson Barracks Memorial Cemetery. Dig those graves up and talk to those proud, brave military heroes that died to give you the rights to live free. If you're mad at what I say, be mad at them because of them. I can say it. And I'll be damned. I will not let those brave military heroes die in vain. I'm going to exercise my right that they give their lives for. And if Sprague and Barricivic and Kern think they can stop me, you better come put a bullet, and I don't mean a political bullet. Come put a bullet in my head, you rotten bastards, because that's the only way you're going to shut me up. I said before, if they cut my tongue out, I'm going to do the radio show in Braille. I don't care. I'm calling all you son bitches out today and every day. This is the start of the war. I see what they do to the poor people down below the hill. I see Bob Sprague tell somebody, I won't use the N-word. Hey, we'll let those N's go after the primary. They'll step and fetch and get back in line. That's the boys in Belleville. Sometimes I'm ashamed. I'm a proud white man. Sometimes I'm ashamed to be white because it's not right. We don't judge somebody by the color of their skin. I judge them by what's in their heart and what's in their gut. I don't give a damn if they're purple. I don't give a damn if they're pink, like the underwear that Kern wears, and we're going to get to that a little bit later. But it's unbelievable, people. And you guys know I'm not half nuts. I'm probably certifiably nuts. Guy told me last week when I told him that, well, don't say that on the air. But don't tell me not what to say on the air. I'll say what the hell I want to say on the air. But see, the people, all of us are about half nuts. We've been beat down so long, so hard. So long, so hard, people. We've been beat down. We're going to let it keep going? No, it's the perfect storm. The Republicans, the Democrats, we're coming together. It's always been divide and conquer. That's bullcrap. There's no more divide and conquer, not just in St. Clair County, but all throughout this great state of Illinois, all throughout this wonderful, great country of ours, the great United States of America. We're not going to let these scumbag son of a bitches divide and conquer us. What do you mean you can't talk to a Democrat if you're a Republican? You can't talk to a Republican if you're a Democrat? Hey, and if you're an independent, you ain't got no place to go, so you come over and be a Democrat or Republican. That's bullcrap. You can't divide and conquer us. We all have to unite people. When there was World War II, do you think when the Navy and the Marine Corps came together to fight the enemy, to make us free, that they said, hey, what color are you? What political persuasion are you? Hell no. We united as Americans to fight the war. And that's the war we got to fight now, because we have to take this big journey. And the journey of 1,000 miles, a journey of 1,000,000 miles starts with one step. We've taken that step, people, and we're going to continue to march. We're going to continue to march on Belleville, on Springfield, on Washington, D.C., all of us together, people. Democrats, Republican, black, white, men and women, transgenders, I don't care. I'm not impartial to transgenders. You know, I got to say on a side note, I used to work down in East St. Louis, and there was a gay club down there. And I swear some of these guys in drag look better than some of the gals I dated. It kind of pissed me off, but hey, that's just a sidebar for later down the road. Let's do our, hey, our lines are always open if you guys can get through, and this is going to be a nasty, this show is going to be as ugly as my face. As ugly as my face, and you people that know me know that's pretty scary. We are America's voice of freedom. Definitely the Patriot. Call toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. Michael Richter, thank you very much. He says this Saturday, the young farmers are going to have a putting around the farm. These young gentlemen will travel to various farms to play a hole of miniature golf. You got to sign up by noon at the Farm Bureau building on Route 3, just east of Eckert's in Belleville, I guess. Cost is $25 for adults and $15 for kids. Sounds like a great time. It says the fee includes all your golf and dinner at the Bullpen in New Athens. And I love New Athens. They have fried bologna. And another side note, we had fried bologna coming up in the Roosevelt homes all the time. And when I got older, I asked my dear mother, I said, Mom, why the hell do we always have fried bologna? And she was kind of embarrassed. And my mother worked her ass off. Unlike Sprague and Kearns and Barracivic's parents, and I bet they're dear people. These son of a bitches were handed everything. But anyway, I'm like most of you people. I'm not crying in my milk. I don't drink, or I'd say crying in my beer. She said, Bobby, I got to be honest with you. She said, I'd go to the IGA grocery store down the road. We didn't have a car. I never had a car till I was 20 years old. Well, our parents never had a car. We took mass transit. I know about what the proud black community is going through and the proud white community that didn't have a lot. She'd go to the store and get bologna that was spoiled, that was green. She'd cut the green out, then she would fry it so we wouldn't get sick. So when I say I'm poor white trash, just like being a felon 18 years ago made a mistake. Yes, I'm a felon, and yes, I'm poor white trash. I'm not ashamed where I come from. I don't want to change the course of my history because it's made me the man I am today. Not a perfect man, but I'll fight you son of a bitches out there, you rotten bastards, tooth and nail. I don't give a damn if I'm an army of one. But anyway, that's why she fried the bologna. But I love the bologna out at Bullpen in New Athens. So thank you very much, Mr. Richter, all the Richters out in the Summerfield, Trenton area. We love you guys. Columbia, Illinois, Masonic Lodge, 474, their trivia night coming up this Saturday. Doors open at 6, play starts at 7. It'll be held at the Dupo American Legion. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Dave. It's 618-795-8472. The Troy Knights of Columbus, Troy, Illinois. Their trivia night coming up Saturday, March the 5th. Proceeds benefit St. John Newman's Elementary School. It'll be located at 142 Wilma Drive in Maryville, Illinois. Doors open at 6. Trivia starts at 7. Any questions or concerns, you can contact NARM at 618-667-2115. The Meat Shoot coming up this Saturday, March the 6th for the Sugarloaf Sportsman's Men's Club to be held at the American Legion on Isler Road. No telephone number, so don't know what the hell to tell you. Again, we'll be there hopefully tonight. The Smithton Turner's Hall, they've got their fish special, and we were out there last week. Hell, those people were really nice to me, and I told them I was running for election, and they said I've got their support. And I said, well, I better have your support, because I'll tell you, I'll promise you one thing, if I lose and don't get elected, I'm moving to Freeburg. I'm moving to Smithton, and your property values will go down 75%. Because you don't want poor white trash in your community. Hell, all the good people of Smithton, they wanted to vote 3 or 4 times like they do in East St. Louis. I was happy about that, but they have the best fish, and it'll be Lenten special from now until Lent from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Smithton Turner Hall in Smithton. And thank you guys very much for not running me out of town. They give me an hour in town, so I took it. Screening clinic by our great friends, the Shriners Hospital for Children, having a screening clinic for children with bone, muscle, and joint problems. If you have any questions, want to get involved, have a child that needs some help, that's our most precious commodity. I love children, love animals. People, not so much, but hey, that's okay. It's going to be held this Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Anderson Hospital in Maryville, Illinois. Any questions or concerns, you can call 618-246-6056. The Albers in Aveston Cub Scout having their pancake breakfast. That's next Sunday, March the 13th, from 8 to 11 a.m. And let's see, our good friends again in Summerfield, their pancake and sausage breakfast this Sunday from 8 a.m. till noon. And again, the Richter family always sends me information. And anybody, that's what we're here for. You have fraternal situations, fundraisers, military fundraisers, any kind of organizational fundraisers, please give us a call. We'll be more than happy to try to get it on the air for you good people. What else we got? Saturday, March the 5th, trivia night in Evansville, Illinois, at the Evansville Country Club. Aurora, that's the group that's giving help to the homeless. We salute you for that. It'll be held Saturday, March the 5th at the Evansville Country Club, located at 3810 Stringer Road in Evansville, Illinois. It's April the 1st, too long. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and/or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling, for the best of all 3 of our stations. And you can hear me every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. for my repeat performance. And now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night, Monday through Friday at the stroke of midnight. Also, don't forget, we talked to Al Weingling yesterday, the general manager of the Belclair Fairgrounds. Didn't know they had Civil War troops back there in the 1850s. Anyway, their Belleville RV and Camper Show will be held today, tomorrow, and Sunday, March the 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Belclair Fairgrounds, located at Route 13 and 159. Everybody knows where that's at. They're going to have all kind. They're going to have over 200,000 feet of campers and motorhomes. So if you guys aren't doing anything, going out, the camper show is going to be inside and outside. It's going to be a good weekend. So if you can make it, please do. One quick note. For Mark Maximus Vaginas, also known as Pussy Boy Eckert, the mayor of Belleville, I read in the paper today, developers delay announcement about 2 hotels. Now, they've been delaying announcement. How the hell can you give somebody $30-40 million of our taxpayers' money, and they don't even know what hotels? See, they're still shopping around trying to get a hotel. I guarantee you, before I would give Maximus Vaginas, before I would give our money, the taxpayers' money, at the tune of $30-40 million, I would know what hotel was coming. They can put a sleazy Motel 7. I don't want to get sued. I won't say Motel 6 or Motel 7. That's got cockroaches. They don't know what hotels are coming. Are you crazy? Hey, Pussy Boy, go put on your pink drawers and drive your little bicycle down the street. You're screwing us, Eckert. The old Okefenokee people, and it goes on time and time and time again. And also, one last thing. The spy agency. You heard me yesterday. I had so many calls. They said, Romanik, you're an idiot, but you're right. Why the hell would they have to even think about making a decision? They got to tear down property in North St. Louis. They got to do this. They got to prep the land. They've got all this land available that we're going to give them free out by Scott. You know why the federal government is hesitant? Because they know about the culture of corruption in St. Clair County. So if we get that spy agency, that $1.5 billion development, you watch. Kern and Sprague and Bear Civic are going to take credit for it. No, they should take credit for not having it, but they won't, because if we don't get it, it's because of the culture of corruption in St. Clair County. It's because of all the crap for the last 20, 30, 40 years that's been going on. They see the airport, the federal government, people in Washington are laughing at us. Why, what idiots. They've lost $500 million and they're keeping it open just so they can one day say it's been successful. Hell, in 300 years it may be successful, but it'll be crumbling. We'll have to put up a new Mid-America airport, but we don't have time today. We'll get to that. I got to say, Larry Stammer, our good friend, he's running for county board. He used to be a Democrat, but he's running in the primary as a Democrat, but he wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid anymore. And so God Sprague, Bear Civic, Kern, Sweet Cakes, they sent out a flyer. And I got to say, thank you guys. They've made me, I've arisen. They spent $20,000 to put out a flyer about Larry Stammer. And it's got my picture, not a bad looking picture, with my flag suit. And I'm proud to wear that flag suit because I'm a proud American. And it says, I pledge allegiance to Bob Romanik and the Republican Party for which he stands. That's a damn lie, you idiots. I stand for the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. I'm not a hypocrite like you son of a bitches. I say vote the person, not the party. I've been saying that for 3 or 4 years. But anyway, it's paid for by Sprague of the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, 26th East Washington. That's Sprague's address. And it talks about a farmer Democrat, Larry Stammer. No, he's not a farmer Democrat. He's a Democrat. And I don't think he ever owned a farm anyway. So how the hell can you be a farmer Democrat if you've never owned a farm? But anyway, pledges his allegiance to Republican Bob Romanik and his culture of corruption. Now, guys, you can call me what you want, but hell, I've coined that phrase about you guys for the last 5 years. Come up with something new. It's your culture of corruption, and you know it. And it says here that Larry Stammer didn't get the endorsement by the Southwestern Illinois Central Labor Council, AFL-CIO. And how misleading. They don't endorse in the primary. They never have and never will. But you see how these lousy son of a bitches take some half-truths and put them together? Then it's got strip club on. I've never, ever owned a strip. If you guys can give me proof that I've ever owned a strip club, I'll give you $1 million. Now, I'm going to get started on Rich Soje here momentarily. But they want to sit there and lie. And people, yes, 18 years ago I made a mistake. See, that's all they got to talk about is Bob Romanik. They're going to wrap me around everybody? They don't wrap themselves around Charlie Powell, a convicted felon, for vote fraud, buying votes. But Bear Civic and Sprague and Kern and all of them were at his going away party. They were all there. They're not disavowing friendship to all the committeemen down there that have been in prison. If you guys don't want the vote of felons, you're going to lose everything. You guys are going to lose everything. But people, you know what? I am a no-good son of a bitch, and I'm far from being perfect. Never once. Get all my back shows for 7 years. Never once did I say I was perfect. Never once did I say I was a good guy, because, you know what? I'm a decent human being, but I've made mistakes. But I'll tell you, it's not what I did 18 years ago. It's what I've done for the past 18 years. I donate money, and I don't want to go into all that. I've given over $250,000 of my own money, not political money, in the last 15, 20 years, feeding people. And I'm proud of that, taking care of animals. But they're going to say what Bob Romanik did 18 years ago. And not only that, they're going to wrap everybody that's don't ever talk to Bob Romanik. They'll get a picture of you and Bob Romanik, and then they'll throw you under the bus with Romanik. That's not fair to the good people. Throw me under the bus, Bear Civic, Sprague, Kern. I deserve it. Throw me under the bus, but don't throw everybody else that doesn't deserve it, you hypocritical son of a bitches. It's unbelievable. Didn't they say, want to turn St. Clair County to a strip club-infested Romanik land? What the hell? Your public building chairman, Rich Soje, he owns 5 strip clubs, people. They forget about that. He owns a dope den in Soje. He owns a gambling parlor in Soje. And don't forget, he owns the Pops and Oz. A few years back, people, This is your head of your public building commission that's appointed by Kern and Sprague and supported by Bear Civic. He owns Pops and Oz. Remember Pops and Oz? How many 10s and 20s? They're probably 30, and I don't know the exact number. Lawsuits, civil rights violations. People got the hell beat out of them. An attorney in Belleville sued them and made a fortune. And they have their fundraisers there? How hypocritical can these no-good son of a bitches be? They want to talk about Bob Romanik. Leave Bob Romanik out of the equation. You guys are the ones that are supporting Soje. You guys are the ones that go down and get freebies at Oz and Pops. Hypocritical son of a bitches, people. So here, vote me out. Don't give me a vote. I don't care. But don't hold the decent. Larry Stammer's a decent man. He bolted from the culture of corruption. They don't have anything better to do than say that he's friends with Bob Romanik. I've never been out to dinner with the man. I've seen him occasionally. He's a good man, but that's what they do. They don't want to talk about the last 18, 20 years, what they've done, because they haven't done anything. They have nothing to defend. They want to throw Bob Romanik, but I want to tell you, my mom and dad and son would have been proud of me. They spent $20,000 on this flyer. Got my picture on the front page. This poor white trash from the housing project has made the big time, and I want to thank you guys for that. I sincerely do, because, see, I told you at the start of the show, I have made a difference. You know what it's costing me to bad rap these bastards and tell the truth about them today? Cost me zero. Cost me nothing this last half hour. Every time they want to come at me, every time they want to come at somebody else, it's going to cost them $20,000, $30,000. And see, I've made money in my life. I'm fortunate. I worked hard, but I respect money. I don't worship money. These son of a bitch and cockroach and low-life bastards, they worship money. They worship that money, and they're not going to give up their money. They're going to continue to take ours. But anyway, these no-good son of a bitches, hypocritical bastards, they want to keep talking about convicted felon. Now, but call me the friendly felon at least. You know, I didn't kill anybody, rape anybody. Kind of distinguish me from the real bad guys. I'll be called the friendly felon and a sleaze jock. Yes, I am a sleaze jock because I talk about the sleaze all the time. You no good, ignorant son of a bitches. And they're lying. I'm not a Republican political candidate. I'm a candidate for the people. I want you to vote for me for what I can do, not the R or the D or the I behind my name. That's what these son of a bitches want. You can't vote for him because he's a Republican. No, you can't vote for him if you don't think he's going to do the job, if you don't think he's going to fight for you in Springfield. And I promise you, my last breath on my mother's, father's, and son's grave, I will not take a penny if I'm elected. I will not. I'll kick every lobbyist out of my office. Those no good son of a bitches, they're not going to buy my vote. My vote is going to be what the people of my district want. How novel is that? Never happened before. Everybody goes up to Springfield, wants somebody to like them. I don't want nobody to like me. I don't want to make a friend. I'd like to. I want to make a difference. And a lot of times you piss people off when you make a difference. I do not give a damn, people. If you want me, fine. If you don't, hold what I've done against me, not against these other candidates. You know, you can't hold what your neighbor, hey, your neighbor killed somebody, so thus you must be a killer. You must support. No, it was just my neighbor. I talk to him occasionally. These people are their own candidates. So please, when you see crap on me, and a lot of it's not true, some of it, yeah, it is, but take it out on Bob Romanik. Don't take it out on decent people like Larry Stammer. Larry Stammer is tired of the culture of corruption in St. Clair County. He had the guts, the nerve, the vote against Kern on some issues that were bad for St. Clair County. He had the guts to stand up and fight against all the waste and the corruption going on at the Mid-America Airport. Larry Stammer had the guts. And you know what the son of a bitches do? They got a picture of Larry. I think he's an Indian. He looks all red. That's what they've done before. That's what the Democrats have done before when a white candidate ran against a black candidate. They blackened the black person's picture. You couldn't see it. It looked like a piece of coal with two white eyes. And I'm telling you the truth, people. That's what these guys do. They give you not even half-truths. Give me half-truths. They don't even give you half-truths. They give you third truths, fourth truths. And we've fallen for it, but people, we're not going to fall for it. We're not going to fall for it anymore. And then Sprague sends something out, paid for by the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee. Harry Hollingsworth, a good candidate running for county board, he's disavowed Sprague and the culture of corruption. So Joan McIntosh, a nice lady, she was the wife of Willie Big Mac McIntosh, who I fought with all the time. But now they want her to be the county board member. It's not a family business. But Sprague, because Roy Mosley Sr., I do not believe personally that he can either read or write. And boy, this is a letter. Please, it says, to all my friends that do something for Big Mac. On March the 15th, when you go to the polls, give a nod to Big Mac in heaven and keep Joan fighting. Joan is nothing. Nice lady, a bobblehead for Sprague and Kern. But they want to invoke a dead man, show a dead man in this picture, and say vote for his wife because he's dead. Well, that's no qualifications. Sadly, Joan did lose her beloved Big Mac to cancer, and she did. And I feel sorry for her and the McIntosh family. But whenever you make that a political situation, Sprague, Kern, Bear Civic. But see, this is black people. You don't give a damn. You don't give a damn about the black people. You think they'll fall for anything because they have fallen for things in the past. Unbelievable. Going to resurrect the dead man. And said, now Big Mac is watching Joan from a higher plane up there in heaven. I'm sure his greatest wish is that she continues to serve the community they both loved. If he were here today, Big Mac would be knocking on your door. He's dead. I ain't letting him come in. And he'd ask, please give my wife Joan your vote. How the hell you got a dead man endorsing anybody? And I don't want to make light of the death of Big Mac McIntosh. It was a tragedy. Nobody wants to lose a family member, but Sprague has brought this out, so I have to address it. This is not Roy Mosley. Hell, he's got his name signed here. He can barely write, and I don't think he can read, and that doesn't make him a bad guy. The point I'm making, he didn't write this. Sprague did, and he disrespected the entire black community. You don't bring somebody who's passed and say he's up in heaven, and he wants you to nod for him, and he wants you to vote for his wife. You know what? If Mac wants you to vote for his wife, people, he'll come down and tell you that. You don't have to listen to Sprague's crap. But you see, these guys are so desperate. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, people. We're going to take a break. I don't know if we're going to. Cherie Langenstein is coming here, and I got to give her enough time. But here, I gotta say, I got to talk about Sweet Cakes, Kern. I didn't give Sweet Cakes that nickname. The people in his past give him that nickname. And once I get over some legal hurdles, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know why they call him Sweet Cakes. You can look at that billboard on South Illinois by the railroad depot here in Belleville. He's in a bikini with his breasts showing. That may give you a little indication. I don't know. I'm just saying. But we're going to know about Sweet Cakes and Sprague. You rotten piece of crap. You know how he met his wife? Number one, you know how honorable this man is? I don't care if I fought with my dad, my family. I'd go to that funeral when they were laid to rest and show my respect. Sprague did not go to his father's funeral or his brother's funeral because of a money situation. Now, if he disrespects his father, his mother, his family, what do you think people like me and you have coming? We got crap coming, people. I'm telling you, we got crap coming. You don't go to your dad's funeral? Are you crazy? You don't go to your brother's funeral because of money? You heard me earlier. See, Sprague, Bear Civic, Kern, they worship money. They don't respect money. But what I like about Sprague, he leaves his wife, the mother of his children, runs off. Well, I don't know about running off because I don't think the old sumbitch can run. And guess who he married? He married his babysitter. That doesn't sound like a fairy tale. That sounds more like a porn situation. I think I've seen that on some porn. And wait a minute. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say, hey, I've seen porn in my life. Well, I probably lost some votes, probably lost some religious votes, but I'm not perfect. I don't really like porn. Hell, I like to say I'd rather be in the porn shoot than watch it, but that's just me personally, because I'm a human being. I love sex, and anybody that says they don't is crazy. I don't care if it's sex with another man, another woman. I just say no sex with animals, Sprague and Kern in Bear Civic. Not that they would. I don't think the animals would have anything to do with them. But here's Sprague, marries Patty, roly-poly Patty, his wife now, leaves the mother of his children, marries his babysitter. See, Patty Sprague was from Cahokia, Illinois. See, she wants to reinvent history. She's Princess Patty Sprague. I call her roly-poly. I've never seen a guy roll his wife down, walking his wife down the street, but he kind of rolls her down, but that's okay. Marries his babysitter, who was Patty Sprague. What does that tell you? You know she married him for his good looks. She married him for the portrait she saw, not of him on the wall, but of the president's in his wallet. In my opinion, of course. It wasn't his personality. It sure wasn't. He looks worse than an old beat-up shoe that got pissed on by a dog and crapped on by a dog. But Patty Sprague, big shot. Bob Sprague. Hey, Bob Sprague, you no good piece of crap. Come get Bob Romanik. I challenge you. Politically, of course. You send this crap out for the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee, 26 East Washington. That's your office, Sprague. This son of a bitch won't put his name on nothing. He ran back in 1972 in the Democratic primary for circuit judge, lost his ass. So what's he do? He puts Princess Patty out there. Now, Sprague's made millions of dollars off the backs of the poor people of all these towns, Cahokia, Centerville Township, all over. They tell me he gets insurance through the county because Patty Sprague, who can't even spell auditor, is our auditor. She's only the auditor because she's Patty Sprague, Bob Sprague's wife. And I'll tell you what, Patty, if you got to sleep with that son of a bitch to be auditor, you've earned that title. You've earned that position because that greasy, sleazy son of a bitch. And I got to ask you, Sprague, I got to ask you. There's a lot of people that have problems. They get drunk and they pass out and they piss in their pants. I want to ask you, Sprague, have you ever had that problem? I just want to know, Sprague, have you ever got drunk, passed out, and pissed in your pants like a baby? Now, I don't know if you had, but I'll tell you what, I'd like for you to come up. I'll give you $10,000. Take a polygraph and pass it and say you've never done that. And I don't know if you have, Sprague. But if you have, I understand because you are a little baby. And Sprague, I got to tell you, you can take all that money that you got from your dad, that you fought your dad, that you didn't go to your dad's funeral, and you can shove it up your hairy, greasy, stinky, white, wrinkled, old ass, because that money means nothing to me. Your title means nothing to me. Bear Civic, the chief judge, title means nothing to me. People, you got to understand, it's the old Wizard of Oz concept. It's a little man behind the screen. Toto pulled that screen out, the little dog, and saw a little man. These guys can intimidate you. They're not going to intimidate me. You guys are going to have to literally kill me. And that may come. That may come. I don't really give a damn at this point in my life. But I swear to God, I'll die a man. You're going to take my manhood. You can take my freedom. You can take my life. You can take all the property I have. You will not get my manhood. And I believe people of St. Clair County are starting to feel the same way that I feel. I wish we had more time. Cherie Langenstein just pulled up. And I want to let you people know. What I say is what Bob Romanik says. Don't attribute any of this because I want to take credit. I'll never throw a rock and hide my hand like Sprague does, like Kern does. I'll take a rock, I'll throw it, and I'll wave both hands. But Cherie Langenstein's coming in, a lovely lady. Don't hold anything I've just said because I have every right to say it, and I think her as the constitutional attorney would agree with me. But she's coming in to be transparent about her race, to talk to the people in her district. She's got the guts to come on the dark side. So anything I've said up to this point, attribute it to me, not to Cherie Langenstein. She's just pulled up. She'll be in a few minutes, but don't blame her for anything I said. And we're going to get on more of this on Monday. But I tell you, you guys drew the line in the sand. Crazy Bob Romanik's coming to get you, politically, of course. So you can talk about Bob Romanik all you want because you can't talk about what you've done the last 18 years. You got to talk about a mistake I made 18 years ago. Well, keep talking about it. Keep talking about it, guys, because maybe I lose. And I give a damn one way or the other. My life's not going to change, but I tell you, the people in the 114th Legislative District of this great state, their lives will change because I'm going to fight for them. They ask me, will you say this, Bob? Will you do this? We'll give you an endorsement. I said, I don't want an endorsement. I can't tell you what I'm going to do. Tell the people that put me in Springfield, tell me what to do. I work for them. I don't work for the lobbyists. I'm not going to work for Madigan. I'm not going to work for Rauner. I'm going to work for the people in the 114th Legislative District. How novel is that? How off the wall is that? What do you mean? You're going to fight for your people and not be a party politician? Hell no, I'm not going to be a party politician. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and with us, our honored guest, the lovely Cherie Langenstein, running for state senator in the 58th Senatorial District. We'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio. And then let me tell you people one thing. I'm the Grim Reaper. You think anything good comes out of the Grim Reaper? I can call myself a nice guy, Bob Romanik, the white knight in shining armor. I'm Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio. Get that through everybody's head. Because there's a lot of bad in this country, and the Grim Reaper's going to bring it out. And you're listening to me on the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting. If you haven't found out by now, stick around. America's bi-state voice of freedom. You hear me, Kern? Bi-state, not bisexual, bi-state voice of freedom. For your information, of course, Radical Radio. I want to apologize to the radicals because they're not as crazy as me. And we are, as always, the most important, the most serious part of my show. We are true Americans and proud to be the Patriot.
Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, is like getting shot in the head. It only hurts for a little while. Then you die and the pain is gone.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on.
This message supported and endorsed by the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition.
With OnStar, you don't need to drive the newest model car to have the latest in connectivity. If you're not connected, now get select OnStar services free for 3 years with no strings attached. You'll get a mobile app that lets you start your car or unlock your doors from your phone, and monthly diagnostic email reports. Just push the blue OnStar button and ask for 3 years of free mobile app and diagnostic services. Emergency and security services are not included. Eligible on select 2011 and newer vehicles. Visit OnStar.com for details, coverage map, and system limitations.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 4477 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 4477.
The all-new 1190 AM KQQZ, marching in beat to the worldwide voice of freedom.
This program intended for mature audiences.
The only thing worse than listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, is perhaps getting your head severed. But then some will say,
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. We're going to continue this conversation that I just had on Monday, and we're going to talk. We're coming out swinging. These guys want to play some hardball. Wait until I let you know about the 2 elected officials in St. Clair County that we can prove that visited a house of prostitution. If you think I'm lying, you're dying. I'm dying. Stay tuned, because that's going to come in the very near future. We're going to show these hypocrites how bad of guys they really are. Having said that, again, the disclaimer. Cherie Langenstein just walked in. She's a candidate for the 58th Senatorial District in this great state of Illinois, running on the Republican ballot. A lovely lady. Don't hold anything I've said up to this point against her, because it won't be right, it'll be wrong, and it's not fair to this proud lady who has taken the time to be transparent to the people in her district. Again, Cherie Langenstein, thank you very much for taking the time and effort to come talk and be transparent to the people of the 58th Senatorial District in this great state of Illinois.
Well, good morning. You're so soft-spoken today, Bob.
Well, thank you very much.
You don't have anything on your mind at all.
Not today. I've already got it off. What's going on in your world, Cherie?
Well, I'm real excited to be up here. My race is going really well with the 58th Senate District. I'm running on the Republican side. I have a Republican primary opponent, and I've been out going to fish fries and going to all kinds of different events and meeting people and talking to people. And a week ago, I was endorsed by the Chicago Tribune.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. And the main reason for that is the transparency that you've been talking about. I think that's so important. I'm very open to talking about where I stand on issues. Nobody's going to have any questions about what it is that I'm about, or who I am and what I stand for. And I've been applauded for that, as opposed to my opponent, who doesn't really want to talk about any issues at all. Just kind of thinks he can, just run because he's backed by the party establishment, and I'm not backed by the party establishment. And that means, like you, Bob, I'm not beholden to anybody except the voters, and that's very, very important to me.
Yes, it is. Cherie, give us a quick background about your education, what you're doing, and where you've been.
Yeah, well, I'm a constitutional law attorney. I do a lot of Second Amendment law, but I've been working since I was 14 years old. My very first job, punching a time clock, was when I was 14 years old. I worked for my sister-in-law, who owned a couple of daycare centers, and I was very happy for the opportunity to be able to mop the floors and scrub the toilets in her daycare center after all the kids had gone home. Now, if you've ever potty trained a 2-year-old boy, you know exactly how much fun that job was. But the point was, I was able to work, I was able to save money, I was able to put myself through college, and try and make a better life for myself. And I've been working my entire life ever since. So I went to my undergrad. I was born in St. Louis while my dad was getting his education. And then I grew up in Joplin, Missouri, and did my undergrad at Missouri State, got a degree in creative writing there, started law school, and I graduated from SIU School of Law, and I was a criminal prosecutor. And then I opened my own law practice when I started having kids. I wanted that flexibility of being a working mom.
Right.
But I always knew how to shoot. My dad was a prison social worker. He wanted me to know how to defend myself against some of the bad guys that were there in the prison. And so I just always grew up shooting. I'm a life member of the NRA. And the NRA started sending me notices a few years ago saying, hey, you're a lawyer, and we're doing a legal training for lawyers. We're going to let you know about firearms law. So I went to that. I thought it was pretty cool. And I've been doing firearms law ever since, and I really enjoy it.
I will ask you, and I'm not in your district, of course, but if I was, you'd sure get my vote. I'll ask you as a potential voter, as there's a lot of them out there. We've got a great listening audience all throughout, especially the South. What are you going to do for me as one of your constituents when you get to Springfield as our new state senator?
Well, one of the main things I'm going to do is I'm not going to make any backroom deals or compromises. So it's not just Democrats that have gotten our state into the fiscal mess. The Republicans like to point to them and say, oh, see, it's all their fault. Well, it's also Republicans who have gotten into the mess. And it seems to me, especially in this election, Republicans like to complain and say, well, Madigan's done this and Cullerton's done that. But I think the Republicans have gone and taken a page out of the Democrat playbook with regard to elections. And it's very frustrating because they're trying to continue the inbreeding of just keeping their own people that they can control, people who are going to vote the way they tell them to vote, as opposed to letting the people decide and having someone who's going to stand up for the people. So what the first and most important thing I'm going to do is make sure everybody knows about all the, it's the Bob Romanik Show. I shouldn't say pardon my language. But,
thank you very much.
But all the crap that goes on behind the scenes up there, that we should not have party bosses in Chicago, whether they're Republican or Democrat, they should not be deciding who our elected representatives are going to be. It should be the people. That's the whole point of this whole process, is that we get the people involved. We let the people have a voice. We vote the way the people want us to vote when we're up in Springfield. And it's so corrupt there. I've done some work for the Rifle Association advocating up in Springfield, and I was just shocked at how it protects the people in power rather than giving power to the people.
You know what, Cherie, you're right. There's enough, and I'm running as a Republican. I'm an independent seat, and people, you shouldn't want party politics. You should want somebody that's going to go up there and be independent like I am and like Cherie is. But there's enough blame to go around Democrat and Republican, but it's the kind of the Trump phenomena, Cherie, that I've been doing for the last 6 years. Trump may not be the best candidate, and the Republican establishment says we got to get rid of him. Well, hell, if the masses, if the rank and file Republicans keep electing him in all these primaries, that means that the rank and file want Trump. And if they want Trump, or if they want Cruz, or if they want Rubio, it's what the people want. But these political leaders get in these back rooms, these smoke-filled back rooms, and they want to dictate to us, the vast majority of the decent people. I'm tired of that in St. Clair County. I know you're tired of it. The people in the state of Illinois are tired of it, and it's refreshing that you would say you're not against the Republicans, but we can't lie and say, hey, all of our guys are good guys and all of those are bad. That's not true. That's why the coalition of St. Clair County, the Freedom Coalition, Cherie says vote the person, not the party. You haven't got the endorsement, but we should let the people down in the 58th Senatorial District decide, not the party leaders saying, I'm endorsing this one, I'm endorsing that one. Usually in primaries, people don't get endorsed. But I guess if somebody's one of their boys, they're going to do what's good for them politically, not what's good for the people.
Well, exactly. And I have a lot of endorsements, but it's not from the party elite.
Right.
Because I'm not part of that political ruling class. In fact, I was called by the party elite right before I declared my run and said, hey, you need to not run. You need to back away. And I was like, why am I even getting this phone call? This is absolutely ridiculous. The people are supposed to decide this, not the people up in Chicago. And so basically, I had a one-finger salute for the people who told me to get out of the race.
I appreciate that. I've given and received a lot of those in the past.
The people who told me to get out of the race are not the people who get to decide. You know, we're not kingmakers here in Illinois. We get to actually have the people decide, and they're going to vote the person who best represents them, who best represents their values. So I've gotten endorsements from a lot of organizations that don't care what the political ruling class thinks of them.
That's
good. And then there have been other organizations that have come to me privately and said, you know, Cherie, we really, really like you. We really hope you ultimately win, but we can't publicly endorse you because if we do, then our legislation that we need to have passed is never going to see the light of day. And if that doesn't tell you all that's wrong about Springfield, then nothing will. Everybody's afraid of actually backing the right candidate or speaking their voice or standing up for their particular issues because of that political ruling class. And those are the people that I'm running against, essentially. I'm running for the people and against the party elitists.
You know what? It couldn't have said it any better, Cherie. We've got a few more minutes. What's your parting words to the good people of the 58th Senatorial District? And I sincerely wish you the best because I know I've met you a few times. You're a sincere lady. I think you're more than qualified. But at the end of the day, you're right. It's not what the party leaders want. It's what the people want. Let's let the people decide. You party leaders stay out of it because party leaders on both sides have screwed this up. Trump has proved that. Trump has proven. I don't say I'm for Trump, but I like Trump. He's done the same thing I've done for the last 6 years. He's motivated. He's energized. He's got people off their asses. Whether they're for me or against me, people are going to be off their asses come November. Same way with Trump. Let's let the people decide, Cherie, and not the political people, Democrat or Republican.
I agree with you completely. Here's what I would like to say to the people. I have worked my butt off my entire life. I worked, like I said, when I was 14 years old, I had my first job. I have worked and worked and worked. Every single thing that I have in my life has not been handed to me. It has all been earned. And I don't expect this nomination to run for this office to be handed to me, I expect to earn your vote. And if people will go and check out my website at www.electcherie.com, find me at Cherie for Senate on Facebook, you'll find out who I am, what it is I'm all about. I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. I'm not going to say what it takes to get elected. I'm going to say what it is that I believe in. I'm going to speak the truth about what's going on in this state. And if that's what people want, then hopefully I have earned the right to have their vote.
Okay, Cherie, how do you spell your name so they can get to it properly?
It's www.electcherie.com. My name is Cherie, Sharee, Cherie Langenstein. Find me on Facebook. Find me on my website. It tells you everything you need to know about how it is, what kind of a person I am, what my qualifications are as a constitutional law attorney. I've had some pretty prominent clients, but more importantly, I've had a lot of people who really couldn't afford legal help. A lot of veterans I've donated my time to. I have given hundreds and hundreds of hours to people who don't understand our legal system, who really need the help, and I'm more than happy to give it to them. And now I want to take that volunteer experience and my expertise in the law and take it up to Springfield and stand up for truth and what's right and for our Constitution. Nothing is more important than standing up for our Constitution, and that's what is important to me.
Cherie Langenstein, Republican candidate, State Senate, 58th Senatorial District. We wish you the best, Cherie. You're a nice lady, lovely lady. I wish everybody could meet you in the context that I have. I don't think you would lose one vote, so best of luck to you coming up on March the 15th.
Thank you so much.
Then, Cherie, if you want to come back before the election, you're more than welcome. I'd have your opponent come in. He's welcome to come in. My enemies running against me can come in. LaToya Greenwood running against me for state rep. She can come in. I'll debate her any day, a time or place. All my enemies, Kern, Sprague, but I'm not going to give my opposition $10,000 to come in and talk. But she's welcome. Cherie Langenstein, the best of luck. Republican candidate for the 58th Senatorial District. And in a passing note, we had a problem. The Hibernians wouldn't let us, either the radio station or me as a state representative, participate in that great parade. We wanted to honor the great Irish people. We're not going to hold it against the vast majority of proud Irish men and women who know, and some of their people have fought in the war to give me and everybody else the right, our freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So we're not going to hold that against the proud Irish community. There's a few no-good son of a bitches in that Irish clan, as there is in the Italian clan and the Polish clan and the black-white clan and everybody's clan. There's always a few bad apples. But we still want to salute the proud Irish on that day because it's a day they've earned, a day they deserved. I'm not mad about it. I said yesterday, I'm disappointed. It hurts me because I've got a lot of Irish friends, and I know even if they would disagree with me, they're true Americans and they would agree with we have every right to participate. I've got probably 80, 90 calls. All of them, I'm telling you people, all of them were in support of what I just said, that I should have the right. Now, I got to be honest. I had 4 or 5 out of the 70 or 80. Hey, you no good rotten son of a bitch, we're against you. We think you're a no good bastard. But they said, you're right. You had every right to be in that parade. These are people that don't like me. And there are a few. I hope there's one more that likes me than doesn't like me come election time. But these people were proud Irish. The guy said, I'm a proud Irish man. And I'm a Democrat, Romanik. I'm not going to vote for you. But he said, I agree with you. And I salute that man. Now, I didn't have to say he said I was a no-good son of a bitch, but that's what he said. And I'm honest on this show. You're not going to get the guy that they say lied 150 times that's a liar. You're not going to get anybody more honest than this liar. I didn't have to say that, but he did. What a rotten son of a bitch you are, Romanik. I'm a Democrat, but you had every right to participate. And he said, I'm Irish. Don't hold it against me. And I didn't, and I thanked him. Now, how many ignorant son of a bitches like me going to thank somebody for calling them a no-good son of a bitch? But I did. This is America, people. We've got every right to live free. These bastards in Springfield, these bastards in St. Clair County, they want to dictate to all of us. We're going to have a lot of Democrats coming over and voting on the Republican side. They're not going to be Republicans, but they're going to vote Republican because they're smart enough now. They know to vote the person, not the party. And we're going to fight every day now until November the 8th, 2016. We're going to fight for you people. It's not whether I get elected, Roger Cook, Carl Officer, our ticket gets elected. We're all going to lose if we don't get rid of this culture of corruption, people. It's not a personality contest. It's a contest of people with some guts. They're going to try to change the course of our government. And in St. Clair County, we're on the path to destruction. And we all know that for the last 40, 50 years. They talk about what I done 18 years ago. Remember, people, but they're doing that. It's a smokescreen because they can't defend what they've done in the last 18 years, what they've done positively in the last 18 years, because they've done nothing. So the smokescreen's up. Let's don't let it happen. Just be proud, people. Be proud in this great country that we can make our choice, not their choice. We're proud Americans. Let's prove it come Election Day. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America, you hear me, Kern? America's bi-state, not bisexual, bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Come on back Monday, same time, same place. We'll continue this fight for freedoms that our brave military throughout the generations have fought to give us. The fight to make us all free, to all have an equal opportunity to have a good life for us and our people. And I have to say, I'm going to change the script today, and I'm going to say, if there is a God, I hope he blesses America, because we're in trouble and we all need it.
They're coming to take me away.